is up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. Today is a very exciting day because I finally get to reveal my new recipe guide, the Everyday Eats recipe guide, which, she is beautiful, just stunning. I launched my first recipe guide back in January of this year for the team plans, and your feedback was amazing. But your biggest request has been, can we get just the recipe guide? So for the past couple months, I have been reworking the recipe guides, keeping the recipes you loved most, adding some new recipes that I'm absolutely obsessed with, as well as writing a whole new set of science-backed lectures explaining how to boost your metabolism, how to portion your food, as well as listen to your body so you can make healthy eating a habit that lasts. If you're part of the team plans and liked the recipes we released earlier this year, you're gonna love this. I have sent out an email explaining what's different, what's new, how things have changed, how it compares, so check your email before watching the rest of this video. And if you're not part of the team plans, but you love the recipes I share on here, but would kind of like them all in one place, plus some more, a little bit more info, then this is going to be a great fit for you as well. So in this video, I'm going to go through everything you might want to know, from what it is, what's different between this guide versus what you get on YouTube, what's different between this guide and other healthy eating guides out there, what's included. I'm going to share some sample recipes, how to get it, as well as a launch special, because you're very special to me. So what is it? The Everyday Eats recipe guide is first and foremost a recipe guide. It is not a meal plan, it is not a diet. It is not designed to gain weight or lose weight. While you may find it helpful in supporting these goals, my goal in designing this guide was to help improve your relationship with food, increase awareness around portion size, and make healthy eating a habit that lasts, right? Basically doing all the things I'd recommend doing before even considering a diet. As with everything I do, this is science-backed. It is designed with a less is more approach in mind, because so much of what's promoted in the health and fitness industry is about doing more, right? So this guy's gonna help you work smarter, not harder, to build habits that make this a lifestyle that lasts. As much as you'll be getting recipes, you will also be getting lectures and resources on the mindset side of things. What is different between what, again, the recipe guide and for free here on YouTube? The key difference is that you get all of my recipes in one place, with nutrition info, with portion info, with swaps and substitutions. Basically the stuff that you guys comment below my videos, the questions you ask that I don't always have a chance to get to, it's all there, all in one spot. This does not mean that I will stop sharing my recipes on YouTube. I love sharing my recipes with you. I actually try to put my best recipes on YouTube, but there are just so many recipes that I can't share them all on here. There's 100 more recipes in the recipe guide. What is different between this and other recipe guides? So first things first, this is not another recipe ebook. I hate having to scroll up and down, back and forth, all the way through a PDF, like lose the PDF, lose the download, and then it's like, what do? I'm so confused, I don't know my recipes now, oh no. This is why instead we decided to make an interactive recipe guide. The way that it works is you can access it from your browser on your computer, tablet, or phone. I just bookmarked mine as an icon on my home screen on my phone, so you can pull it up quickly, access it anywhere, anytime. You're not losing downloads, you're not having to scroll back and forth. All you have to do is click the recipe name, it pops right up with a picture, what you need, what to do, as well as the portion and nutrition info. The reason I'm so excited about this is because, especially with baking, it is important that certain rules and ratios be upheld. Okay, you can't just like go blindly swapping ingredients, or else your stuff doesn't turn out and it doesn't taste good, and I want your food to taste good. So what we have done is we have used science to put together very simple plug and play conversion charts, so that whether you're looking for a vegan swap or a protein powder swap, or like you ran out of an ingredient, you know how to swap it, you know how it'll affect the recipe, you're all good to go. In addition to that, you will also be getting science-backed lectures on how to boost your metabolism, plan your meals, and listen to your body. So what all is included? First, 100+ simple and delicious recipes. These have all been personally tested by myself, as well as other people who are not as health nutty, who eat regular foods, and they are approved by them. All right, so if you got picky eaters, we're good to go. You will also get portion and nutrition info listed for every single recipe. We figured the easiest way to do this would be in the format you're used to seeing it. So every recipe has its own food label that shows the portion size as well as the nutrient breakdown of that recipe. Vegan and non-vegan recipes. So right now, the guide has about half vegan, half non-vegan recipes. But with the swaps we include, you can easily swap a vegan recipe to be non-vegan, or turn non-vegan to be vegan. You get the idea. Simple swaps and substitutions. So every recipe, every ingredient, we include guidance on how to swap it. Every recipe I've designed strategically from the ground up, picking the ingredients, writing the steps, making sure they make sense, and I wouldn't want you to ruin it by just swapping out like some random ingredient. All right, so that's why we specifically address this. We've got a whole section breaking down which ingredients you can swap, how to swap them, how this will affect the recipe, all that jazz. You will also get a meal by meal guide. While I don't believe in strict or rigid meal plans, I do believe that having some structure, especially as you're first getting started, can be helpful for reducing overwhelm and decision fatigue and like just giving up because it's too tough. So the way the recipe guide's organized is there are 3 different meal types. Each has a slightly different goal and a slightly different nutrient breakdown to reflect this. I explain how I recommend setting these meals up, but I also give you guidelines to adjust to your hunger and your needs so you can adjust this to make it work for you. So all of this plus science-backed lectures on how to boost your metabolism, plan your meals, and listen to your body, because it is so important when you're trying to make a lifestyle change to understand the why behind what you're doing, because when you understand the why, I feel like it's easier to justify continuing to do the thing, which is what we're trying to do. We're actually trying to change our habits, to change our life. So I'll put a link to all of this in the description box down below, but for now, let's get to some recipes. I wanted to share recipes that felt representative of what you will actually be getting in the guide. So I'm going to be sharing 3 recipes today, 1 base meal, 1 post-workout meal, and 1 snack. You will learn more about each of these types of meals in the guide, but without further ado, let's get into our first recipe. First step is to preheat your oven to 325 Fahrenheit. Next step is to combine all of our wet ingredients. Next, we're gonna stir in our cocoa, which I completely forgot to mention because I am a dingbat, but we're going to add that now and we're going to gently stir it into our mix. Next, it is time to add in our remaining dry ingredients. If your dough is looking crumbly, feel free to pour just a little bit of water into your mixture to help add some moisture. And finally, it's time to stir in our mix-in. So I'm just gonna pour my chocolate chips into the bowl. Next, I'm going to grease my baking tin. If you have a cooking spray, you can just do a spray through it with that or line it with parchment paper. Today what I'm gonna do is I just took a big piece of coconut oil. I'm gonna put it on this paper towel and grease up the tin. Now that our tin's all greased up, I'm going to press the brownie mixture into here, then we can pop it in the oven. First step is to preheat our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, you can either line your baking sheet with parchment paper, or if you're using a stoneware sheet like me, I am just going to spray mine with some cooking oil spray, making sure it's evenly coated. Now, in a large pan over medium heat, I'm just gonna spray it with some cooking spray and then add in our garlic and onions, letting them cook for 2 to 3 minutes or until they're just starting to turn translucent. Next, we're gonna add our carrot and bell pepper to the mix, cooking for another 6 to 8 minutes. Once our veggies are cooked, I'm going to transfer them as well as our remaining ingredients to the food processor except for the tempeh. We're going to hold off on the tempeh for now. We're going to put them all in here, give it a few pulses, and then check where we're at. Once we pulse together our ingredients, you should still be able to see little flecks of the black beans and original veggies in there. So now it's time to add in our tempeh, pulsing it together again, being careful not to over mix because we want to make sure that we still have texture to these patties. Next, it's time to portion our batter out into patties on our baking sheet. So I'm just going to take a spoonful of batter. You could also do this with your hands. Splat it onto the sheet a little bit better than that, and in a larger piece, pat it down with the back of my spoon because these will not spread much when we bake them. So the size and the shape that you put in now will be about what you get when we take them out of the oven. So our first step is to heat a large pot over medium heat, pour in our olive oil, and then add in our carrots, leeks, as well as butternut squash. Also adding in our fennel seeds to let this saute for 4 or 5 minutes till our veggies are just starting to soften. Next up, it is time to add our garlic and our ginger as well as our spices, let it saute for a few more minutes, and then add our broth and coconut milk. So how do you get the guide? Because this is a digital product, anybody, anywhere can get the guide. I mean, if you have access to internet, which if you're watching this video, you probably do, you're good to go. And because there is no specific meal plan required, this is suitable for anyone. All you have to do is go to my website at www.theteenplans.com, click on the product you want, whether that is the recipe guide on its own or the recipe guide plus a teen plan, or if you just want to go for a little walk around the site, see what's going on. Once you check out, you will get an email with all the info you need to set up your login to get started with your recipes. Now, this would not be a launch without a launch special. My goal is and always has been to make health and fitness as accessible as possible. That is why I put out so much content on here. That is why I will continue to put out content on here. I have seen similar guides with even less info, less recipes, priced for more than this. I have seen people who, when they release a guide, they stop sharing their free content, and that is not at all my goal. I want to share more free content. I literally can't put out enough content to keep up with what is in this guide. So for the next week from releasing this video, you will be able to save 20% off the Everyday Eats guide, 20% off a teen plan of your choice, or the option that I am most excited about is you will be able to save 50% off if you bundle the Everyday Eats recipe guide with a teen plan of your choice. The reason that we discounted this so heavily is because I want you to win. I want you to get the best results. I want you to not feel overwhelmed. Like, I want this to be the time that sticks, right? And I know that if you get this bundle, this is what's gonna lay it out, like from start to finish, the most clearly for you, whatever goal you have. Anyways, I think that's it. I will link all of the info in the description box down below. I will also put an email to contact our support team at. It's really hard to keep up with comments below the YouTube video, and I want to make sure your questions get answered. So I'll put all of that info down below. But Jeff has been working so hard, overhauling, redesigning our entire site. I have been working for the past few months, reworking this recipe guide, developing new recipes, researching the science behind it, and the rest of our team have been working on some new free resources that I know you're just gonna love, but that we can't quite release yet. Like I'm so excited about everything going on right now, and I'm so excited for you to try this guide and to see what you come up with and the things that you make. So if you get the guide, definitely let me know in the comments section down below. I can't wait for you to try it. I appreciate all of your support, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.